Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. First off, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops, the great millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Shalom to all the Akim and Akwath out there listening and learning. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, who are the true children of Israel, as well as you speckled bird, Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that look like, act like, and take on the customs of all these heathen nations. So to you, I say Shalom, and may you be of the elect. This lesson is brought to you by the Spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true name of our Father, the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls by the name of JC. This lesson is a response video. There was a young ISUPK member who came up to the elders camp, and he had some questions, but they also had some questions. And of course, GMS, they're going to answer questions. But when the questions was given to him, he didn't have it. He didn't have an answer. And so this video was put up in the room for brothers to watch, and it was, it's a really good video to watch, and put a lot of things in perspective, and especially if you constantly examine yourself, then you should be able to point out some things in that video. Just like, yeah, I should be able to, brush up on this or brush up on that, just overall, just trying to improve, and you can't just be, someone who's just saying it. You gotta put it into action, So this video is a response video to that video of that young man, coming to the camp, and basically he was just kind of caught with his pants down, so to say. So this is the importance of studying, all right, and that's a huge thing, because you can't just be, oh, I'm just gonna study, or I'm just gonna read, or I'm just gonna watch lessons and learn. No, you gotta do all that. All those things are vital. Okay, it's like, for instance, for people that do massage therapy, all right, let's say you have, or even dentistry or a doctor, right? Point being, they have what they call a bony landmass, right? A reference point. Okay, so now you have a reference point as to where to start on a matter or an ailment or whatever, right? And then you have all the different, tissues, the ligaments, the tendons, the muscles, whatever, right? But the point being, when you study, right, you study in precepts, those are like landmarks, okay? Those are your bony landmarks, all right? But when you're reading, that's you learning everything in the body, right? You just have those precepts for a reference point, right? Because it could be, yeah, you're going to read this particular precept, but there could be a whole lot of meat in that whole chapter, per se. So it's things like that. Point being, again, this young man, he went up there and he just didn't have nothing. He was caught off guard. So the point being, the whole point of that video was to point out that, it's really important to study and to read and watch lessons and just being in the spirit. All right. So that's what this lesson is going to go into. In particular, the question that came to my mind, came to my attention was, the whole thing, because the elder was pissed. ISUPK is teaching that John the Baptist was not a man of the Lord. Right? So that's what this video is going to go into exactly. All right? So without any further ado, John the Baptist is a man of the Lord. All right? Now, first things first, you got to understand where priesthood came from. All right? So you got to go into the birth of who? Levi. Right? So you go to I'm just going to get to it. This is Genesis. I got everything written because there was a lot, and I just wanted to just make some kind of quick points. So this is Genesis 29 in verse 34, right? And it says, she being Leah, and she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me. So we are understanding what this word means for the name given. Because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. All right, so Levi joined 2. All right, Loya in Hebrew. All right, so we get the birth of Levi. Right, and the Levites today are the so-called Haitians. All right. All right, now Levi begat sons. The heads of Levi, right? The firstborns, right? The heads of Levi. You go to Genesis 46. This is Genesis 46. I'm going to read 5 through 11. And it reads, and Jacob rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob their father, and their little ones, and their wives, in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. And they took their cattle and their goods, which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came into Egypt, Jacob and all his seed with him. Right? See, Jacob and all his seed with him. His sons and his sons' sons with him, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed brought he with him into Egypt. Okay? Right? Now, it says that the heading when you read in the Bible, it says Israelites who entered Egypt. And these are the names of the children of Israel which came into Egypt: Jacob and his sons, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn. And the sons of Reuben, Hanach and Phalu and Hezron and Carmi. And the sons of Simeon, Jemuel and Jamin and Ohad and Jachin and Johar and Shaul, and the son of the Canaanitish woman, and the sons of Levi, right? And the sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari, right? Now the name I want you to focus on is Kohath, right? Genesis 46 and 11, right? The sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari, right? Now, go to Exodus, right? And this is going to get to the point of Kohath, right? This is Exodus. There's a lot of details, so I just kind of just found the, bleed you out scriptures. Take no prisoners. All right, this is Exodus 6, and I'm going to start at verse 16. And it reads, and these are the names of the sons of Levi, according to their generations: Gershon and Kohath and Merari. And the years of the life of Levi were 137 years. All right, 137 years. The sons of Gershon, Libni and Shimei, according to their families. And the sons of Kohath, Amram, right? Keep that name in mind. Amram, and Izhar, and Hebron, and Uziel. And the years of life of Kohath were 133 years. So he lived 133 years. Now, I'm just going to move to verse 20. And Amram, right, meaning exalted people, Amram took him Jochebed, which means Yahweh's glory, right? Took him Jochebed, his father's sister, to wife. And she bare him Aaron and Moses. And the years of the life of Amram were 137 years. 137 years. Now, skipping down to verse 23. And Aaron took him Elisheba, daughter of Aminadab, right? Sister of Nahshon to wife, and she bare him Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. Now, the two, Nadab and Abihu, them two, long story short, they end up dying because it was doing some shit they had no business doing, burning strange incense, as the scriptures say. All right, so they had to die. So the only ones that were left were Eleazar and Ithamar. All right, now let's go to the history, which is in the Chronicles. All right, this is First Chronicles chapter 6, and I'm going to read verse 1 through 3. It says, the sons of, and this is titled Levi's descendants. The sons of Levi. Now remember, Levi is the third son of Leah, all right, and Jacob, right? That's Genesis, the 29th chapter, verse 34. The sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Verse 2, and the sons of Kohath, Amram, Izhar, and Hebron, and Uzziel. Verse 3, and the children of Amram, Aaron, and Moses, and Miriam. The sons also of Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Now, skipping over to verse 16. Again, this is all bringing a point to get back to John the Baptist being a man of the Lord. Verse 16. 1 Chronicles chapter 6, verse 16. The sons of Levi, Gershom, Kohath, and Merari. And the sons of Kohath were Amram and Izhar. Verse 18. And the sons of Kohath were Amram and Izhar and Hebron and Uzziel. Verse 22. The sons of Kohath. Again, the point being, right? The sons of Kohath, Aminadab, right? His son, Korah, his son, Asher, his son, Elkanah, his son, and Abiasaph, his son, and the list goes on, right? But point being, in verse 22, the sons of Kohath, Aminadab, right? And let's see where. Actually, you know what? I could have just left off at verse 3. Let's go to chapter 23. This is 1 Chronicles chapter 23. And verses 12 and 13. And it reads, the sons of Kohath, Amram, Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. 4. The sons of Amram, Aaron, and Moses. And Aaron was separated, right? That's the point. Aaron was separated that he should sanctify the most holy things, he and his sons forever. So Aaron and his sons were Kodash, right? Separated, set apart, right? Sanctified to do the works of the ministry. Okay? And again, going to specifically the seed line of Aaron, right? You got Levi, you have Kohath, Amram, Aaron, right? And of course, the continued family, you have Moses and Miriam. But we're specifically focused on Aaron, again, leading to the point of why St. John the Baptist is a man of the Lord. Go to Numbers. This is the fun of toiling with the scriptures, toiling with finding the information. Right? It's actually quite fun. Numbers chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 5. And it's titled, The Levites to Serve in the Tabernacle. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Bring the tribe of Levi near, and present them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister unto him. So there you go. The Levi are separated, right? Who we call today the Haitians, are separated from the rest of the tribe to go do the ministry of the office, okay? That they may minister unto him, and they shall keep his charge and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacle of the congregation to do the service of the tabernacle. And they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation in the charge of the children of Israel to do the service of the tabernacle. And thou shalt give the Levites unto Aaron and to his sons. They are wholly given unto him out of the children of Israel. And that's the whole thing too. When doing this ministry, this work, you have to be wholly given unto it. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not, you like a house built on sand, because there's a lot to this, right? You ain't no taking a break. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot you have to understand, right? A lot of precepts to get, and through all that getting, you got to get understanding, right? So it says, verse 8, and they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation in the charge of the children of Israel to do the service of the tabernacle. And thou shalt give the Levites unto Aaron and to his sons. They are wholly given unto him out of the children of Israel. And thou shalt appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest's office, and the stranger that cometh nigh shall be put to death. Now, the importance of this. Go to Exodus 28. This is Exodus 28. And hold on. I'm so excited. This is Exodus 28 and verse 1. All right. And it's titled Aaron and his sons set apart. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. Right? And again, you can pick that up in First Chronicles chapter 6. Right? Now, let's go to Exodus 28 and 1. It says, and take thou unto thee. Yeah, we just read that. So now, right, this is the point. So now, who is John the Baptist's father? Right, all that to get to this point here. Who is John the Baptist's father? Because that was the question the elder asked the young man. Right, the answer is Zechariah. You go to Luke. This is Luke chapter 1. All right, this is Luke's letter to Theophilus, right, meaning friend of the Most High. I'm going to go to verse 5 specifically, right? This is Luke chapter 1, verse 5. It says, there, and it's titled, An Angel Foretells John's Birth, right? So we're getting the understanding of John's birth. But first, before John's birth, we have to know who John's father is. So verse 5, Luke 1, chapter 5. Luke 1, verse 5. There was in that day of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest, right? Because the priesthood belongs to the Levites, right? A certain priest named Zacharias of the course of Abia, and his wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. So now we understand that, John, who's going to soon enough be told of his birth, his parents are Zacharias and Elizabeth. And it just told you that Zacharias' wife was of the daughters of Aaron. Again, who is Aaron? Aaron is of the lineage of Levi. So she is also a direct lineage of the Levite bloodline, along with Zacharias, as it is said right here. It says Zacharias of the course of Abia. So now we have to get to that. What is the course of Abia? All right. Go back to the Chronicles. All right. Going back in the Chronicles. This is First Chronicles. Come on, man. This is First Chronicles, chapter 24. Oh, too fast. One too fast. 24 verse 10. And it reads, and this is talking about the matter of fact, if you go through First Chronicles chapter 23, right, this is telling you how King David set up this whole priesthood, right? Now, in chapter 24, right, when you read on chapter 24, verse 10, it's telling you, it says the 7th of to Hachaz, the 8th to Abijah, right? Abijah is the same as Abia, which you read, which was in that Luke 1 and 5, right? And again, to get back to that, Luke 1 and 5, it says, there was in that day of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias of the course of Abia, right? Of the course of Abia. You see? And his wife was of the daughters of Aaron. And then when you go to down, if you have a study Bible, it'll tell you, chapter 1, verse 5, it says Herod, right? The great ruled from 40 until 4 BC. Course of Abijah, right, is one of the several divisions of, they say Jewish, but, the Israelite priesthood. Elizabeth, too, was of the priestly descent, which is true. She is a direct descendant of Aaron, right? So there you go. In order to be a man of the Lord, you had to have been a Levi, right? You had to have been Levi to be of a priest. That's the point. And then you see, matter of fact, let's because I didn't get to the birth of John in that segment. So John, going back to John chapter 1. I mean, I pretty much already made the point, but let's just carry it home. Let's see. Actually, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. And yeah, the story of John. So I pretty much drove all the nails in the coffin here. That's really it. So yeah, Saint John is a man of the Lord. I don't know why ISUPK would think any other thing other than that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops, the great millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth. With truth and sincerity, may you be of the elect. Stay prayed up, repent. Abba Abba, Kwam Yasharallah, Shalom.